Hi guys. I'm not looking my best right now. And I know that I did state that I was going to do better with my videos, but as of today, I am 13 days. Um, I am 13 days since I've tested positive for COVID. I'm happy to say that I have beat COVID, but I do want to share my story and show you a little of my home improvement projects I have going. Hey guys, like I said, I'm not looking my best today, and that's okay. Um, the past 2 weeks have been just really been a struggle for me. It has been something else for me. Wow, where do I begin? I beat COVID. It has been, tomorrow will be my 14th day. And then right now I'm working from home, so I can go back to working from home on Thursday, which will be my 15th day. I tested positive for COVID 19 on March 31st. Prior to March 31st, I would say about 2 to 3 days prior to March 31st. Well, March 31st, let me go back up. March 31st was on a Tuesday. Okay, that's when I tested positive. My husband tested positive on on the 30th, which was like that Monday, if I'm not mistaken. You know what? Let me back up. Um, I don't remember, guys. I think my husband tested positive on. Okay, my husband tested positive on Tuesday, March 30th. I tested positive on Wednesday, March 31st. Okay, so it was Tuesday and it was Wednesday. Okay, prior to that, I would say right around Friday was when I first started having symptoms. My symptoms were like complete exhaustion. I was so tired. Like, even if I wanted to get up and walk from my den to my living room, I would just be completely exhausted, just extremely tired. So I couldn't understand what was going on. That was, like I said, that had to be like that Friday. I started losing my appetite for food. The thought of food, eating food, all of that, it was just a struggle. I felt like as I was chewing the food and swallowing it, that I was going to vomit. It just didn't taste right. Now, the weird part about it was that was Saturday morning I woke up I didn't have a sense of smell. But it was very weird because later on that evening, my smell was like in and out. The doctors are still kind of really kind of trying to figure that one out. They don't know if it was just a stuffy nose or did I really lose my sense of smell. But I noticed that I didn't have a sense of smell. And but I really thought that it had to do with my allergies. I really thought that I have allergies. I deal with sinus, so I thought that, and usually around this time is when the pollen is very high. Pollen is very high here. I thought that maybe that was the contributing factor. Now, Saturday, my husband came. Saturday, my husband came home. He was very, very sick. He did not feel well. He kept saying he had a headache. He felt drained, and so he went to bed. Okay. For me on Saturday, I was just completely again lethargic. I had a family gathering that I was supposed to go to, but because I just felt so blah, I felt extremely tired. I had a runny nose. I was like, this is COVID. I'm not going around anyone. My uncle was turning 78 years old. And I'm saying I'm not going. I felt bad because I didn't want my family to think that I'm just not trying to come. I'm not trying to show up. But I grew up with my father, who always taught me that if I don't feel well, and this was pre-COVID, this has been my whole entire life. Never go somewhere and you don't feel well because you don't know what's wrong with you and you don't know what you can give to someone else. My parents have never sent me to school sick. If I woke up, I had a sore throat, I had a headache, I was always home because they didn't want any other kids to, they didn't want me to infect any other children. I've always been the kind of person where I didn't go to work if I was sick because I know germs can just germ spread. It's just so I have always been responsible like that. I did not go to the party, but I slept all day Saturday. Now, this is where it gets weird. On that Saturday night, my husband, like I said, he came home from work. He was extremely not feeling good, extremely tired. He went to bed. I cooked some salmon out on the grill and I poured me a glass of white wine. The wine tastes like acid. And I was trying to figure out, why does this wine taste so bad? It tastes like acid. And I ate half of the salmon. If you know me, I eat salmon. I can eat my whole block of salmon, but I only ate a half of salmon, and then I felt like I felt very nauseous. During the night, as my husband and I slept, I just so happened to touch him. My husband was burning up. It almost was too hot for me to touch him. It's like it stung almost. He was extremely hot. His temperature was so high. But we did not think COVID. My husband has severe allergy issues, and every year, just like myself, he's worse than me. He gets very, very sick. So I'm thinking it's the allergies. He wakes up Sunday morning, the fever is gone. He goes to a yard sale. They take his temperature. Well, he went to an estate sale. They took his temperature. His temperature ended up being fine, which is quite weird because just the night before he was burning up. I swear my husband probably had a temperature of about 102 or 103, and we just did not know. But when he went to that estate sale, his temperature checked out at like 97 point something, and even till right now, we're just like, that's weird. You can't go from that to just. But anyhow, he came home Sunday and he was just completely exhausted. He did not feel good. Monday he went to work. He only went to work for like maybe 30 minutes. He came home. He said, I feel horrible. He went to sleep, woke up Tuesday morning, and he felt great. He was like, wow. He's like, whatever it was, it passed. Tuesday we had a closing because we refinanced our house for 2%, a very good interest rate. So we went to the closing. We were feeling good. He had left work Saturday, and the way that his job works is that he has to let his job know when he's not feeling well, and then he does like a clearance, and he'll call him and say, "Hey, I feel better. I feel good enough to come to work." Which Monday he felt like he felt good enough to go back to work on Tuesday, but my husband, you know, is just like me. He was just like, well, let me go and get a COVID test just so I have a good peace of mind that I can go back to work on the next day because I don't want to get anyone sick. We did the COVID test on that Monday through Kaiser, and Kaiser said, well, it usually takes about 48 hours. And my husband was like, is there any way that we can rush it? He was like, because I'm trying to, I'm trying to go back to work. And the lady was like, no, it's 48 hours. So my husband kept going back and forth with her, like, hey, can you see if we can get, you know, can we get it, can we speed it up? So she was like, no. But anyhow, they did. So like I said, he was tested on Tuesday. We tested around 4 o'clock p.m. We After we tested, I went and bought a hookah machine from a family friend who has a smoke shop. I noticed when I came back from buying the hookah machine, and I fired up the hookah machine, that I was coughing a lot every time I took a deep. Every time I, used the hookah. My mom was like, even when I was talking to my mom on the phone, she was like, "Oh, you coughing? Like, what? Why are you coughing like that?" I'm like, "I'm not sure." Well, I said, "But because I've never really coughed like this before." Now, keep in mind, Tuesday I'm feeling better as well. I'm not feeling as tired. I'm still well. I'm still tired, but I'm not as tired. I felt like I could go. Me and him, we did the closing. We were hanging out. Everything seemed to be okay. Um, we go to bed. Wednesday morning around 4 a.m., my husband's like tapping me on the shoulder. I was mad because I thought I was snoring. What I also did notice that Wednesday night when he was tapping me on the shoulder is that um, I had sweated I was really sweating. I've never sweated like this before. It's almost like I jumped in the tub and got out. My body was drenched. And I'm sitting here thinking like, what in the world? Now this is the second night that my body has been drenched in sweat like this. I wasn't thinking about it because I know that, at my age, I'm coming up on menopause. I'm going to have hot flashes. I'm going to sweat. But I've never heard nobody say that sweating would be like this. He woke me up. I said, well, Garrick, I said, let me go to change out of my nightwear. I said, because I'm extremely cold because I've been sweating. I'm not sure why I'm sweating like this. And he blurted out, I have COVID. So I said to him, I said, if you have COVID, I have COVID. We've been under each other. We're married. We share a room. So my initial response was to freak out. I I was on the verge of freaking out, but then I was on the verge. I don't know. It was just I knew I had it. It was just crazy. I said, well, I said, I got to get tested, but I need the rapid testing. I can't go to Kaiser and wait all day. I got to do the rapid testing. I called CVS, and the rapid testing with CVS is free if you've had COVID exposure, which I've had. Naturally, my husband has COVID. I went in, my vitals were good. I had a low grade fever, and within about 15 minutes, my results came back. I had COVID. And I asked what was it that I needed to do? How do I fight this? They were like, most people recover at home. They have mild to moderate symptoms, but this is what you have to do. If you have a fever, Tylenol, Robitussin for the cough. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the two things. I made a huge mistake with my medication, guys, which actually could have put my husband in a hospital. That will be on my next video because this video has been long enough. So I don't want to keep this video extremely long. But on my next video, which I'll release next week, I will tell you the huge mistake that I made. And I will tell you how our day to day was with COVID. Some days were really, really bad. So, excuse me. We're gonna be back to. I'm so sorry. I'm having some work done, and as you guys saw earlier in the video. But yeah, like I said, on my next video, I will tell you guys about our day to day struggle with COVID, beating COVID, and some of the after effects that we're still going through right now with COVID.